There are two things in life that everyone wants: money and power. Money, they say, makes the world go wrong. It bonds comfort, security, and the freedom to live life on your terms. With money,
Money.
Money.
Money, whatever.
doors open, opportunities appear, and dreams turn into reality. And power, how do you define it? I think it's the ability to influence and control. It's the force that shapes societies, create empires, and leave legacies. With power, you can change the course of history, inspire movements, and make decisions that affect millions. Now, to earn money, you typically exchange your skills, time, or something that holds value. But what if you crave more than financial wealth? What if you seek power? Power often comes from using what you have, whether it's wealth, status, or talent, in a way that influences others. So the question is, how do you attain power? How do you become someone who can influence people? There is a book out there that is so compelling. It's banned in the US prisons, endorsed by influential figures.
3 quick books that have changed my life. The first one, 48 Laws of Power.
The 48 Laws of Power, a book that has sold over 1 million copies.
#1 New York Times best-selling author of number of books, The 48 Laws of Power,
and has sold over 1 million copies in the US alone. And the book is 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Today, I'll be investigating how influential figures throughout history have used this law to gain power,
America strong again.
build empires, colonize nations, and dominate the world.
Immortality! Take it! It's yours!
After World War I, Germany was a nation in chaos, economic collapse, political instability, and national humiliation. It all gripped the country. Amid this turmoil, one man rose to power by carefully crafting and protecting his image. Adolf Hitler, the man who murdered millions of Jews, who plunged the war into the most devastating war in history. But how? How did Hitler become the Chancellor of Germany? How did he gain so much power? Hitler's public persona was carefully curated. He dressed in military attire to purchase authority. And his speeches, they were not just words thrown together. They were finely tuned instruments which designed to resonate with the emotions and aspirations of German people. But here's where it gets even more strategic. Hitler understood the power of media. And to control the narrative, he needed someone who could manipulate public perception on a large scale. And here is Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's Minister of Propaganda. He wasn't just managing the news, he was shaping reality for millions. Newspaper, radio broadcasts, films and posters, all were tools to build and protect Hitler's image. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Law 6. Call attention at all costs.
I want to take a moment to tell you why Steve here is so absolutely off the fucking wall. It's because this man is a creative genius.
Your reputation is your most valuable asset. It can open doors to new opportunities or close them forever. It influences everything: hiring decisions, promotions, and even the way your friends and clients interact with you. In a world flooded with information and distractions, standing out isn't just important, it's essential. If you want to gain influence and recognition, you must attract attention to yourself.
Can I say something? I'm the type of person.
You need to position yourself in situations where your skills are most likely to be noticed and appreciated.
Without you, they're just worthless hunks of plastic.
One way to do this: consistently produce high-quality work and share it with a broader audience. Presentations, publications, social media, whatever platform makes sense for you. But here's the thing, just having skill is not enough. You need to showcase them. Make sure people recognize your value.
It's because this man is a creative genius.
And that's where personal branding comes in. Your personal brand is how you present yourself to the world, and more importantly, how the world perceives you. Think about it. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the name Steve Jobs? Apple, creative innovator. Albert Einstein, physics genius. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, e-commerce pioneer. And Warren Buffett, investment guru. And that's called personal branding. It's the image that sticks in people's mind. How do you want people to see you? Now, let's not forget two figures who have mastered the art of reputation and attention.
People have called you the real Tony Stark.
Elon Musk
We will make America great again.
and Donald Trump. If there's one thing you can say for sure about them, is that
I'll fight him. I'll fight Zuckerberg any place, anytime, any rule.
Can I get a picture?
Elon Musk just tweeted. Elon Musk just tweeted as well.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again.
they know how to attract attention. Musk's Twitter account is the prime example of how he keeps himself in the public eyes. He is everywhere. When Facebook server went down, he had something to say. Microsoft Windows outage, he was there. Something happens in crypto world. There's Elon. Criticizing government organizations. He is right there. This is crucial for any business looking to establish itself in an existing market, and it's vital for any politician aiming to sway public opinion and gain votes. Elon's outlandish behavior, the kind of behavior that most CEOs would shy away from, maintaining his constant presence in the news circuit.
Elon Musk, the owner of X, formerly Twitter. Elon Musk has tweeted about
Says CEO Elon Musk.
What is going on at Twitter? Is this Elon Musk cleaning house, or is this Elon Musk just trying to make a statement?
Which also extends to his businesses. What's more, by being so active on Twitter, he has a degree of control over the media narrative. And there's Donald Trump. You all know that photo, right? It's where Trump risked his life to get this image. I think it was worth it, right? This image is so iconic. The American flag fluttered proudly in the background. The crowd was alive with energy, pushing past the agents trying to shield him, raising his fist into the air and saying, how legendary is that? A symbol of defiance or resilience or whatever you want to call it. A moment that will be captured, printed and plastered on everything from t-shirts to coffee mugs. And it skyrocketed his reputation.
My name is Donald Trump and I'm the largest developer in New York. I even have a television show. I thrive on energy. This isn't a game. I'm not playing games. Who will succeed? Who will fail? And who will be the apprentice?
Remember The Apprentice, a reality TV show that was widely popular in the US around 2004. Trump wasn't just the host, he was the star. And who could forget his signature catchphrase?
Fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
It wasn't just a line, it became a cultural touchstone. If Donald Trump was fueled by attention, then The Apprentice was the one running the gas station. He was the boss, the leader, and the guy who knew what it took to succeed. And by controlling that narrative, he built a public persona that was almost unshakable. And since then, Trump has been using every media opportunity like Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and beyond to his advantage. And those controversial statements, whether you agree with them or not, they kept him in the headlines day in and day out. In fact, you could argue that Trump's journey to the presidency is a masterclass in applying the 48 laws of power.
surprise.
You all know the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, an agency responsible for enforcing federal laws, investigating major crimes, and protecting the US from various threats. But what I really want to focus on is the first director of FBI, John Edgar Hoover, a man who had his possession and maintained extraordinary power for nearly 5 decades right until his death, who was deeply entrenched in political landscape, who makes the FBI into a male-only organization. The question is, what made him one of the most powerful and feared men in America? Maybe he has some strategy which made him that strong, and I want to know what it is. So let me introduce to Law 11, which is learned to keep people dependent on you. What I find the most insane about Hoover is that he has something powerful, what was infamously known as the Obscene File, which is a secret dossier filled with details about the private lives of those in power, like politicians, public figures, and even his own colleagues. You had Marilyn Monroe, John Lennon, Charlie Chaplin, Muhammad Ali, Albert Einstein, and many others. All of their movements, where they went, who they slept with, who they were talking to, were secretly gathered. And here's the kicker. Hoover made sure they knew he had it. So, what does this look like?
I'm watching you.
I know who you are. I know all your secrets, remember? So I'll know whether you're telling the truth or not.
Damn! This wasn't just leverage. This was a survival strategy. I mean, they depended on its discretion, and that's what we call power. This type of dependency can be taken into any way. Even if you are the lowest level employee in a company, what if I told you there were ways to make it really hard for them to let you go? And it all comes down to one word: indispensable. Now think about this. Even if you are at the bottom of the ladder, what if you possess a unique skill that no one else around you has? Maybe you are the only one who knows how to repair that finicky piece of machinery that keeps breaking down. Or perhaps you are fluent in a language that's critical to the company's operations. And suddenly, you are not just another employee. You are the one they can't afford to lose. So, what's the takeaway here? If you want people to rely on you, you need to offer something they can't get anywhere else. Whether it's a unique skill, a particular talent, or even something they desperately desire but can't get on their own. Maybe it's the ability to do something they can't, or maybe it's simply having access to something they want. But here's the thought. What does that mean for you and for the people who depends on you? Is it about genuine value, or is it about control? $500,000, which is the amount of initial funding Mark Zuckerberg got to launch Facebook. Now, if you are given $1 billion, yes, a billion, can you build another Facebook, another Google or Amazon? You gotta be kidding me, right? It sounds almost insane to think that you could create that kind of company today, even with $1 billion. Okay, let's go back to the year 2000 when there was no Facebook or Amazon dominating the market. Now, I'll give you just $1 million. Could you build a media empire or an e-commerce giant? Yes, of course. Suddenly, the possibility seems endless, isn't it? Would you argue if I said that Facebook really took off because it was founded during the early days of internet when there were no other social media giants? Or if I told you Amazon made it big because it emerged at the dawn of e-commerce when the playing field was wide open?
1% inspiration, 99% perspiration.
Now you see where I'm going with this, right? When discussing success, people always emphasize hard work, talent, luck, and so on. There's another key factor that they don't talk nearly enough. That is timing. And we arrive Law 35, master the art of timing. It was June 6, 1944, in the midst of World War II. The largest seaborne invasion in history. I mean, over 5,000 ships and landing crafts cutting through the waves, and more than 10,000 aircraft soaring above, and 156,000 troops ready to storm the beaches. This was the turning point of World War II. If the plan was failed, Europe could remain under the control of Nazi Germany. The plan was carefully developed over several months. It was a combined effort from airline forces, the US, UK, Canada, and other alliance countries, all working together toward one goal. On June 6, 1944, the Allied forces launched the massive assault on Nazi-occupied France, which would forever be known as D-Day. Can you imagine the level of preparation it took to pull this off? How much planning and how much coordination were necessary to ensure that they proceeded without a single mistake? Every detail was meticulously planned to ensure the perfect timing. The types. They were crucial because they determined how much of the vision its objectives would be exposed. The Allies needed a low tide to expose these defenses so that they could be clear. They chose the perfect timing, which allowed the first wave of landing crafts to hit the beach at lower tide, exposing German defenses. And when the tide rose, later waves could land closer to the shore. Let's not forget paratroopers. They were dropped behind enemy lines to secure key positions and distract German defenses. This required sufficient moonlight for navigation, and June 6, just after a full moon, provided the necessary visibility. But even with the tides and moonlight working in their favor, the weather still posed a huge risk. The invasion, which is originally scheduled for June 5th, was postponed due to a storm, pushing the operation to June 6. The element of surprise was also vital. To keep the Germans guessing, the Allies executed Operation Bodyguard, which was a decision plan to mislead the enemy about the invasion location. And this plan worked, catching the Germans off guard when the landings began. In the end, the success of D-Day wasn't just about brute force. It was a masterpiece of timing and coordination. The tides, the moonlight, the weather, and a lot of other detailed plans. It was a piece of a puzzle that had to fit together and perfectly. Let me also mention what Robert Greene said in his book. never seems to be in a hurry. Hurrying betrays a lot of control over yourself, and over time, always seems patient, as if you know that everything will come to you eventually. Be kind of detective of the right moment. Sneak out the superior the times, the trends that will carry you to power. Learn to stand back when the time is not yet right, and to strive fiercely when it has reached fruition. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Nikola Tesla, the brilliant inventor who gave us alternating current, Tesla coil, wireless transmission, and numerous other groundbreaking technologies. The fact is that despite all these important contributions, Tesla's life didn't any glory. One of the saddest things about Tesla is how he lived the rest of his life. He died alone in a small rundown room, penniless and largely forgotten by the world. And a thought appears in my mind. What if Tesla had received all the credit and patents for his inventions? Could he be a millionaire, a household name, or a celebrated genius? The answer is yes, absolutely. He could have been all those things. But in reality, he never got the accolades, the money, or the respect he deserved. On the other hand, there is someone who understood the power of Law 7, Thomas Edison. Edison is often celebrated as
one of the greatest inventors of all time, Thomas Edison.
1,093 patents to his name, which makes the record of more patents by a single inventor in his time. Some of the most important inventions in human history, the light bulb, movie camera, storage battery, telegraph, phonograph, and the list goes on. I'm impressed. Maybe you did too. How could that be possible? Over 100,000 patents from different fields by a single inventor. But when I go down deeper, I start to uncover something surprising. There is another side to history that is being painted as someone who knows how to take the glory, someone who manipulates the system to his advantage. Edison had a cap up his sleeve, which is how to hire the best assistants for his laboratory. Everyone sort of assumed that Edison was the sole genius behind all his patents, but what you probably don't know is he had a team of skilled assistants, markers, as they were called, who played crucial roles in developing many of his inventions. Edison knew the importance of hiring the best assistants in the field and letting them to do the heavy lifting while he took the credit. He didn't invent the power generator, the waste paper, but he took the credit. Movie camera is invented by one of his assistants who went by the name William Dixon. Storage batteries made Edison a lot of money, but he didn't invent them. Tesla was one of those brilliant minds hired by Edison, which reminds us to Law 41, avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. You see, Tesla worked under Edison for nearly a year. If you desire power and recognition, you should never work under someone who can influence and overshadow you. Working for a person of great influence can confine your potential, limit your opportunities to shine, and let's be honest, it's easy to get lost in their shadow. Instead, if you want to make your own impact, you got to establish your own path, build your own legacy, and feel from someone else's greatness. I know you now have many questions on me. I don't have the money to create my own path. I don't know how to do a business. I don't have the enough skills. Hold on, there are two paths for you. Do you want to live a peaceful life with a steady paycheck where there are no worries about job security, consistent income, or a structured work environment? Or do you want the thrill of being an entrepreneur where you control your destiny, embrace risks, and have the freedom to build something on your own? The choice is yours. And for those who want to create their own path, let me give you a tip. One of the key insights from Law 7 is something called strategic delegation. You can't do everything on your own. You see, every successful entrepreneurs and businessmen out there, they know something that is not just about working hard, it's about working smart. Choose the tasks that are well suited to the skills and abilities of the person you are delegating to. And by delegating your tasks to others, you free up your time and energy to focus on the most important things. Additionally, you build a team of loyal supporters who will be grateful for the opportunities you provide them to shine. Let me also explain about taking the credits from the work of others. It doesn't mean you have to lie or claim something you didn't do, but it does mean making sure your name associated with successful projects and accomplishments. This will help you to build your reputation and gain the respect of others. In the game of power, appearance is everything, and sometimes the most powerful appearance is that of silence. And this brings us to Law 4, always say less than necessary. Now, let me be clear. Silent doesn't mean you should never speak at all. It's all about balance. Speak too little, and you risk coming out as unsociable and shy.
Too much talking, too much talking, too much talking.
Speak too much,
talking too much.
and you can appear overconfident and maybe even insecure. The real key here is knowing when your words truly add value to the conversation.
Everyone will be famous for 15 minutes.
In the future,
Everyone
we'll
will
all
be famous for 15
15 minutes.
In the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes.
Everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. A famous curve you likely had, which gained popularity in the 1960s during the rise of mass media and celebrity culture. When it boils down to in its simpler form is that in our medium-driven world, anyone can achieve a brief moment of recognition, but that fame is often short-lived and quickly forgotten. I think it literally reflects today's world where people and trends come and go quickly. And you wanna know who said this quote? Andy Warhol, who was a leading figure in the pop art movement and one of the biggest artists of 20th century. When I searched about his story, I spotted something straight about him.
Why did you decide to do pets?
Well, I got tired of doing people.
Did you?
Yeah.
Have you gone off people?
No, but I have some dogs and I just thought I'd paint.
Did you notice something that sticks out? During most of his interviews, he had a habit of speaking too little. His silence often made interviewers uncomfortable, which leads them to overanalyze and obsess every word he did say, adding to his power and influence. By speaking very little and keeping his comment vague, Warhol crafted an overall mystery around himself. People were left struggling to interpret his seemingly profound, yet often deliberately ambiguous statements. And this intrigue, it only served to heighten the value of his work. When you hold back and remain silent, it creates a sense of discomfort in others. People are naturally uneasy with uncertainty. They want to know what's on your mind, and when you control your words, you make it almost impossible for them to figure you out. If you want people to reveal more about themselves, the best strategy is simple. Listen.
Just listen.
Everyone wants to talk. If you want to be effective at reading and influencing people, improve your social skills by just listening. Don't stress about what to say next. When you start talking, the other person naturally starts feeling the silence. And the more they talk, the more they reveal, often unintentionally. That's why silence can be so strategic. It not only conceals your intentions, but also forces others to reveal theirs. This is what effective leaders, entrepreneurs, and clever politicians understand so well. They don't try to dominate the conversation. They observe them, they listen, and in that silence, they gather the information they need to make their next move. Please hold on a moment. I just want to say thank you for watching this video to the end. If you got something from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel for more content. If there's something you don't like, feel free to leave a comment and let me know. Have a nice day and thank you again for your support.